Listen, I'm running some Linux tests. I've been running some Linux tests for the past like 3 weeks. Anyways, it's been fun, but I've been running into a few hiccups here and there. I'm currently running a suspend test because my laptop won't go into sleep mode. Yeah. Let me show you.
So yesterday I put my laptop into sleep mode, right? Or suspend mode, whatever it's called. Let's see what happened. Alright, I figured. It's dead. There's this hibernation mode that Pop! OS offers that you have to sort of like, I guess, set up completely from scratch from what I was seeing. The only thing is that I'm currently dual booting and I don't want to start messing with that. I really want to run Pop! OS on its own NVMe, so I gotta kind of migrate all that, which I gotta get to. But for now, I figured, why not just show you my Linux setup? And I guess the everyday carry that I now carry with me, because my workflow, I guess, has changed a bit.
This here's my P16 with Pop! OS loaded into it. I've been using it for it's been a month now. With Linux, you know what? If something breaks, you kinda gotta solve it yourself. And for the most part, all the stuff that has been breaking within my experience, I've been able to fix. Like yesterday, for example, I used Pop! OS to run integrated graphics, except that it bricked my laptop when I enabled it. The issue is that, well, there's this one bug that forces NVIDIA to initialize early and become the display controller, even though I switched the system to integrated graphics. So at boot, I would always get this black screen. Anyways, instead of using Stack Overflow, I've been literally troubleshooting with ChatGPT, and I run into small little issues like these from time to time. Now, it's not all bad. It's actually been a really good experience when battery life is not destroying me. Reason as to why I wanted to run this device on integrated graphics. Get it? Anyways, I've been testing battery life quite a bit. It's not the best. My god, do I sound like I'm complaining and hating my experience, but honestly, I don't. Because editing with DaVinci has been amazing, using this OLED panel has been great, gaming on this, especially playing Starfield, has been phenomenal. Yes, I've been playing lots of Starfield lately, and the cool thing is that it syncs with my handheld, so on the plane I find myself playing even more, so that's cool. And having integrated my S25 Ultra fully with my laptop has been great. In fact, this is a full ecosystem for me now. I use WhatsApp quite a lot now. I use messages to text people. I've got all my pictures within the Google Photos app, which is all synced with my S25 Ultra, and I use KDE as well as local send. But honestly, I've been finding myself using local send a lot more, except for copy and pasting. It's actually so much quicker by using KDE. I know that one of you guys suggested I use a different version of KDE, but I have to yet look into it. Anyways, listen, my main issue has been battery life, okay? I get about an hour and a half to 3 hours depending on what I'm doing. So I'm currently trying to figure this little issue out.
And then carrying this when I travel, oh my god, it's just so big. So I've been finding myself using this more than anything, charging the laptop at around 90 watts, I believe. So I kind of feel like it's really hard to be the MacBook, but I guess when you want some flexibility, some gaming, you can't play multiplayer games, don't forget about that, Linux is the way to go.
I've got to tell you guys, with my S25 Ultra, the integration has been so good. KDE for the most part is always running. The app has so many other cool little features to offer. It actually is really awesome. From here, I have local send installed, and I use it so much that I decided to use Good Lock along with one hand operation plus to assign a swipe to it. So with a left diagonal down swipe, it opens it up quickly. It doesn't interfere with my left back swipe, so it's all good. I also have my right handle activating other features like the calculator, split view mode, which is so good, and control center, so I can use it with one hand when needed. I really love One UI, man. I really do. Miles ahead when it comes to iOS, in my opinion. In fact, I use this app called File Manager Plus, and it's so quick at transferring files and traversing directories within the network. And, you know, there's no animations, no bugs, nothing that slows it down. It's absolutely perfect, unlike files from iOS. And the thing that makes the S25 Ultra so special for me, it's the pen. So I finally got used to this pen, okay? I can use this pen along with Parsec and use it as my mouse. So this is so freaking good for me. I sometimes am in need of connecting through either my Linux laptop or my phone to my office setup, whether I need to use Adobe for editing pictures, transfer files from my Google Drive, or edit and export a project that lives in the office. I can do it right with the phone. And Parsec, well, Parsec is actually extremely recommended if you want to use it as a low latency remote desktop solution. But, you know, I mean, I don't really use it for gaming. I use it more for work. When it comes to gaming, I use my ROG Xbox Ally X. I think I mentioned this in my Steam Deck video. In fact, the other day I was actually told that if I run this on boss site, I could get slightly higher frames and better quality of gaming. But the thing is that, you know, this would require me to dual boot, and since I'm going through slight dual booting issues with my laptop, I kind of want to avoid that. And well, I've been also just enjoying playing Battlefield 6 whenever I'm not on Starfield, so yeah. And Battlefield 6 plays really nicely. In fact, you can get some solid frames out of this thing, like at 1080p with medium settings and 25 watt TDP. I average about 50 frames per second with FrameGen on, and there has been some really nice performance upgrade ever since this came out. Like the Xbox full screen experience, for example, it has gotten smoother. Sleep mode for a Windows handheld, this is actually very nice now. In fact, just putting it to sleep and using the fingerprint sensor on it works very well. And Armory Crate seems to be a lot more responsive. Look, as someone that has been using this a lot while traveling, this does feel like an Xbox controller, but with a screen in the middle. And the fact that this is not OLED, well, you know what? It actually hasn't bothered me at all. And I come from a Steam Deck OLED panel, but I do like running games at 120 Hz when possible. I wouldn't bet on Starfield or Spider-Man to output 120 frames per second, but they are extremely enjoyable to play on this. And I recently found this indie game called Escape from Dukov. It's actually pretty fun to play. And then there's this new default game profile available from the Xbox dashboard. It only works on preview mode, which I don't really want to get into because I don't like bugs. So when this fully rolls out, it's actually going to be really fun because it will allow for games to finally just work. No tweaking, no digging through Windows menus, just boot up and you're ready to play. Armory Crate, however, did an update just recently where you can take things to the next level, and I was able to try that. Like, you can now tweak your P and E cores, and the only reason you want to mess with this is to give the iGPU some more cores to allow for it to simply run better. So that's really fun. It works well in some games and others not so much, but it's a nice feature to have for those who want to play with it. Battery. I'm always on turbo mode and connected to my S25 Ultra via hotspot when I'm on the go, especially to try and sync my Steam library when I forget to. But to give you an example, while I was playing Spider-Man in my most recent trip, I was able to go from 56% to about 13% in 45 minutes. All of this while in best performance, like I mentioned. And I played Spider-Man my entire flight, really. Like, you can expect this to, I guess, throw you about 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and a half of AAA gaming, which is what I've been averaging, really.
Listen, this has been my handheld because I've been sort of diving more into AAA games more than anything, especially Battlefield. But it's not perfect. It's not. It still has its little bugs. Like, for example, look at this. You know, it sort of just won't let me traverse all my apps with the Xbox dashboard. So that's a bit of a bug that I've been running into. But I truthfully feel like Xbox have been just working on it non-stop because it feels a lot more optimized than before. By the way, the case, this case, oh my god. This case right here, from D-Brand, very, very nice. It protects my whole thing. So I love using this.
To charge this thing or anything, I bring with me, really, I've got this Anker Charger. This here's the best charger I've ever used, period. You guys have seen it in multiple of my videos. I've mentioned it multiple times, and I'm so annoyed because I actually left mine plugged in at a hotel in Slovenia, so I had to buy a new one. I will say, the only thing that annoys me is that this glossy screen scratches a lot. It makes it look awful, but the fact that this is a wall plug with a built-in cable, delivers a port where you can actually bring your own cable into the mix, and is also a battery that super fast charges by S25 Ultra, makes this absolutely amazing. One full charge from my S25 Ultra usually brings me to about 38%, and it takes about an hour and 10 minutes, so that's really good. It also charges my headphones, my mouse, and my Worklouder dock, all things I connect to my Linux laptop. I actually had Pop! OS Bluetooth issues, as you guys might have seen a few videos ago, but it all works fine now. Connecting 3 devices at the same time has been great, like no weird latency, interruptions, disconnections, nothing. And wherever I go now, I bring this. And it's not what you're thinking. Look, this here for me has been a helper tool to get work done faster, especially when traveling and editing while we are away. And the cool thing is that the Framer Creator Micro fits in my bag without taking too much space. It's actually made by a local company, believe it or not, called Worklouder. And the point here is to make your workflow super customizable. And yes, it all works on Linux really nicely. I'll explain at the end. I took the time to set it all up with their GitHub repo, but it's mainly great for Windows and Mac. In fact, it comes with a few extra keycaps. These are Framer icon keycaps, but really you can adapt them to fit your own needs. Yeah, this thing looks sick. It's got an aluminum frame, mechanical switches, RGB underglow, sounds great as well, and it feels great. It's got 13 customizable keys, like for example, programmable keys, a dial for either zooming or scrubbing timelines, a little joystick that opens a full radial menu with up to 7 shortcuts. It's really well thought out, and the point here is just to speed things up for you, really. Like, it even switches presets automatically depending on which app I'm using. It's almost like playing the piano, you know? Like, once you build muscle memory, before you know it, you're already done with that task, so that's cool. It's really awesome, and I'm so happy it works on Linux.
Linux is actually really strong when it comes to a hardware OS level input mapping. So the cool thing is that if you install Keyed and you enable it, you can create a config file to literally map all of these keys, and then use the logos and so on that they provide to really do whatever you want. But here's the interesting about Linux. Linux lets you create layers. So like, think camera modes, same buttons but different behavior. Like for example, on one layer this dial will control the volume, right? And then on another layer this dial will control my timeline, like on DaVinci. On another one it can switch my Chrome tabs. And so really Linux is like really good at this. And this is just one of the main reasons as to why I'm trying to stick with it, because you have so much flexibility and so much control over everything.
My headphones of choice for my Linux laptop, really, the Sony WH1000XM6 in this cream color that I think you might want to avoid. It really just shows scratches extremely easily. Luckily, they come right off, but you have to be consistently cleaning them. Battery life on these though, wow! I think the longest I've done with these was like 32 hours of playback with ANC on. Like that Porsche trip, for example, when I was gone for like 7 days, I never had to charge it once. It actually made me realize that if I charge them at home before I leave, I don't need to worry about battery. So that's good. I also love how lightweight these are. And unlike the previous gen, they actually fold again and are extremely easy to put away in a bag. These are very comfortable. I just need to adjust the headband to a T, because if I don't, after a while on the plane, the top of my head actually starts hurting. Pads are very comfortable. You can rotate the patch towards your collarbones. The ANC tech is really nice in here, but not the mic. The mic, it actually sounds awful in my opinion. Using it for calls has not been a struggle, but it's just like barely usable. Yeah. Sound-wise, because well, these are headphones, right? Expect rich, punchy low ends, clear mids and vocals, crisp highs. Some people wish for a wider soundstage or more neutral tuning without EQ. I think those people might be like big audiophiles, which is fine. It's always good to want more from experience. But I personally just love the stock config. It's nice. As for transparency mode, really good. Very clear actually. It does a really strong job letting voices and important sounds through when you want to hear them. And ANC is effectively blocking airplane engines, hums, public transport noise, chatter, like all the stuff. It's really good actually. Those two features work very nicely together. The same goes for its Bluetooth multi-point because I connect them between either my S25 Ultra and Linux device or S25 Ultra and handheld. With this setup, I also connect my mouse to my laptop, and you guys have been always asking, and I've already featured this in the past. This is actually the LOFREE Touch PBT wireless mouse, extremely far from being the perfect mouse, but I like it because of its looks and portability. Extremely easy to bring around really, but its ergonomics are not the most comfortable ones for larger hands. It's absolutely not meant for gaming, and I find it could be a tad cheaper for what it is. Maybe at $49.99 it would make sense. Other than that, it's a good mouse. No software, so no bloat, I like that. Battery life lasts for a while. I have a light to moderate daily use and I get about 3 to 4 weeks between charges. It's got tri-mode connectivity via Bluetooth, its dongle, and wire. And I feel like the price at $69.99 might be because this small OLED screen delivers a bit of information where changes in DPIs will reflect and be displayed on this. Look, it does the job for me and connectivity has been reliable. It's also incredibly solid and it doesn't feel cheap at all. So throwing it in my bag has been pretty darn good. A bag like this one. This is actually a story-driven collab bag. So you guys know how I'm a huge fan of Porsche, right? And I used their Grams 303 Adventure bag to travel. Well, I was able to get my hands on their Mars Rover 944 collab bag. Grams 28 took a vintage Porsche 944 and fully reworked it into a safari style build, so that's cool. It's like a space inspired look that feels straight out of a sci-fi film. I really like the vintagey build here. It's actually a limited run, so I was happy to get my hands on their collection. In fact, this summer I very much used their 302 Sling during the entire time. This one has been beaten, so I got myself their 302 in this limited run. But they have the 301 Adventure backpack. They've got a nice jacket to come with it, a nice t-shirt, some gloves, a camera strap. It's all very vintagey and very Porsche-like. And if you know anything about me is that I'm a huge Porsche fanatic, really. I absolutely love the brand, so anything related to them, I always try to see if I can get my hands on it. For me though, the 303 duffel easily fits my Linux laptop, my mouse, my framer board, headphones, handheld, battery charger, wires, passport, everything I bring with me around. And I've realized the fabric really makes it super easy to clean, especially during winter when it sometimes rubs against the back bumper of my car. So yeah, I mean, traveling with this bag just has been extremely fun. I very much enjoy it.
Yeah, this is pretty much how I've been sort of enjoying my Linux setup more than anything, trying to come up with ways and accessories to bring around with me to make my experience a lot more enjoyable and fun. Fun is very important for me. Listen, I will be doing my thoughts on Linux after 30 days or 45 days, 60 days. I don't know, because it's supposed to come out January 18th, hopefully. We'll see how that goes. But I know you guys want to watch that. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you activate notifications, so every time I upload, it shows for you guys. Anyways, like this video and leave a comment down below about whatever. You guys can comment whatever, it just helps the algorithm. That said, Merry Christmas, late Christmas, because this goes up on Sunday, and Happy New Year in advance.